We work now with the ground effect, and then we go back again to the flow circulation at some speed, and it is very good condition, this flow, not turbulent, and then permit us to generate more forces or downforce. If we think now that this is the ground of the circuit, then, and we have here the car on the top. This will be the underneath of the car in the part of the diffuser. And when the car, for example, when it's going total, you see, is the attraction between the two surfaces. Is it different? And you think that is a force, because the pressure here is very low, and in this part is normal pressure, atmospheric pressure. That difference of pressure, that delta pressure multiplied for all the surface, then will give the vertical force, the vertical downforce. And that is the physical effect of ground effect is. Okay, we go now for the ground effect that came from a long time ago from Colin Chapman and his group at Lotus, with Lotus 78, and they really did a revolution in all the aerodynamics of the Formula One car. Then if we take, for example, we analyze not the front part of the car, we analyze the last part of the car. If we have here, for example, the rear wheel, and we have the bottom part of the car, and at the same time we have the side, because the car is going like this, then we have one dimension here, A, that will be this line A, and this will be the floor of the car, that will be B, and this is the ground, and the car will come like this. And the side post will be coming on the side. Is to define these two lines. Why these two lines? One is here, and the other is the floor. Diffuser will be coming in this sense here, and the side post will be coming till this value. And the side post will come on this sense, like this. Here is the airflow entry, for the radiator, if the radiator is fixed in this area. And then the air will be coming here, passing through the radiator. And after, as Red Bull start designing the car with the where the air is passing from here to this exit. Then we have the radiator inside, air coming from the front, passing for the cooling. Here it will be the air box inside for the engine, coming the top to the engine that will be sit here. Exhaust will be in this area, but at the same time the flow crossing the radiator will be leaving in this part, to try to generate more downforce and not interfere this area, to try to generate more better flow on top of the diffuser, and to have less drag. And giving it is the central part of the car on the back here has too much, the flow characteristic is not the same for the interference of the bodywork in this part. Therefore, sending air here with a high speed then will generate more downforce on the central part of the rear wing, because the rear wing is there, will be generating much more in this central part, and doing work better the low rear wing. Then, if we have the flow here coming, this is the ground, and this will be the velocity of the car, then when the air arrive to this point where the diffuser starts, and then deflect there. And this is what we saw if we compare, for example, with the spoon and with the flow coming sideways with some V, the water flow coming here. When we put for the other flat part, then generate a very negative pressure here, then with the atmospheric pressure on the top, then atmospheric pressure, then a negative pressure here, then generated a force that forced the spoon moving down, and was very easy to see from my hand that was bending sideways, moving sideways. Then this is exactly the same effect that is happening in this part of the car. Then it's generating very negative pressure that this generates the downforce. And after we have the crash test structure on the back, but at the same time this part is the rear diffuser, because the rear diffuser, if we watch from outside, from the bottom part, we see that all the bodywork is arriving here. This is the crushable structure going to the inside of the car, but bodywork here will be coming in this sense, and here will be this hole that I say for the exit, for the air exiting here. At the same time, the diffuser is coming in this sense, like this. Therefore, and it's going like this. Here is the rear wheel. And suspension. Then this air deflected on the top will go in that sense, will generate a negative pressure. This will be pushed out by forcing the bottom part of the air passing below the car, taking that direction, and this is some command effect here that will help to go for the direction of this angle that the diffuser will have. That is one maximum angle that is related to the section in the entrance and the section on the bottom part, in the rear part. Then this section is a ratio that must not be overtook, because if not, we'll be breaking the boundary layer and the diffuser will not work. Then after all the fins that will be helping the air to go in this sense below the negative pressure generated by the rear wheel, and then will help use this negative pressure here to help to circulate the air at the maximum speed, and then automatically generate maximum downforce. That is a concept for the ground effect. And then at the end is a vertical force that will be the downforce, the rear downforce, on generated for this surface and for the effect of the flow circulating between the shape of the, we can say here, the rear diffuser and the ground.